If you're watching this, there's a good chance that your marriage doesn't feel like it used to. Maybe you're sleeping in the same beds, but you feel completely alone. Maybe every conversation turns into an argument, or worse, silence. Maybe you've tried everything, the therapy, the podcast, the books, the counseling, and still you feel stuck and defeated because nothing has really changed with all of your effort. You're successful, you've built the career, you've built the business, but still you feel alone because it feels like you're failing at the one thing that truly matters to you that you cannot speak to anyone about because it's your family, it's your home, it's your privacy, and it's your life. And the scariest thought of all is maybe you waited too long to get the support. If that's where you're feeling, stay with me because what I'm about to share with you has helped hundreds of people, and it's changed the life of many high-performing people that felt stuck and frustrated just like you, and that felt exactly where you are right now. Here's what I've seen working over and over with people like you. You're a high performer. You solve problems for a living. So when your marriage started struggling, you did what you always do. You tried to fix it. You went through therapy. You sat through session after session, talking about your feelings, going in circles, walking away from therapy feeling that you left with nothing. No plan, no steps, no tools, no real change, just more awareness of how broken things truly are in your marriage. You read the books, you tried the communication techniques, you made the effort, and still your partner feels more and more distant. The arguments keep on happening and are getting worse, and the intimacy is gone. And now you just feel exhausted, like you want to just give up. You're working hard, you're showing up, and you're trying, and you're not getting anything back. You feel invisible in your own home, not heard, not respected, not wanted. At times, you're waking up at 3 a.m., running through the worst case scenarios in your head. What if she's checked out? What if things are actually over? What happens to my family and my kids if things do fall apart? That fear that you're going to lose your family, that's the secret that you can't tell anyone because you're the one who's supposed to have it all together. But I need you to hear this. The reason that nothing has worked is not because your marriage is broken beyond repair. It's because you have been using the wrong tools. Here's what therapists won't tell you and what most relationship advice completely misses. Relationships don't fall apart just because of communication. They fall apart because of behavioral patterns. Behavioral patterns that get triggered without you even realizing it. For example, the over-explaining when she gets triggered or goes quiet. The shutdowns when she raises her voice. Or the over-giving to earn back that connection. Or the controlling in a relationship when you feel like your partner is slowly slipping away. The anger that comes out of nowhere and then afterwards that makes you feel guilty. These are not character flaws, they are learned behavioral patterns that have been conditioned from previous relationships or even when you were raised with your family that likely developed before you got married. And here's the problem with those patterns. They trigger each other's behavioral patterns unconsciously. The same cycles over and over again. Talking more doesn't break the cycles. Awareness alone doesn't break the toxic cycles either. Only changing certain behaviors changes the cycles. That's the part that no one gives you until now. And I want to tell you how I know all about this. I went through this as well, and this is why I built this program. Not from a textbook, but from my own life and my own struggles. I married my husband because of his drive, because of his ambition, and because he was a hard worker. And I deeply respected who he was. What I also didn't understand was I brought some of my own insecurities and my own struggles that came out as negative behaviors, patterns I had learned from growing up, feeling rejected, feeling not good enough, and unworthy. Because at the end of the day, no one is perfect. We never struggled with the love part, but we definitely struggled with the communication. We had the same repeating arguments, and sometimes I just wanted to throw my hands up in the air and say I give up. We went to therapy, I got awareness, I learned, but awareness wasn't enough. I felt like I was talking about the problems, but nothing was still changing in the relationship. The patterns were still there. And at that very moment when I divorced, I really took all my energy into understanding why I got divorced and why people were stuck in the same behavioral patterns. Not emotionally, not just talking about things, but behaviorally. I wanted to understand, like, why do relationships actually break down? What's really happening underneath all of the conflict? And what I discovered changed everything. My husband and I started doing the real work and not just going to therapy. And so we didn't just talk about things anymore. We were given tools to fix our relationship, our nervous system, and our communication. Not just changing, but also changing our behavior and becoming aware of the behavioral patterns that were keeping us stuck in the same toxic cycles. 2 years after our divorce, we remarried. The same two people, but a completely different, thriving relationship, because we finally understood what was keeping us in the same toxic cycle with our behaviors. That experience, with my background in my master's in behavioral science and years working in the medical field, as well as helping hundreds of couples in your situation, is the foundation for everything I teach currently. My mission has been simple: to save struggling marriages, to keep families together despite trauma, to give people tools to better serve their partners and better have thriving, happy families and happy marriages. What I've built is called the Reset Method. It's a 90-day behavioral coaching program. It's built for high-performing people who are really serious and committed to changing their marriage. Not therapy, not another book, and not surface-level advice. A structured step-by-step system that breaks the exact patterns destroying your marriage and replaces them with new behaviors that build trust, intimacy, respect, and better communication back into your relationship. And here's how it works. So the first thing that we do is work on your nervous system. We want to stop the bleeding, because how can you really have a healthy conversation if you feel like you're in fight or flight? So you stop over-explaining or shutting down, or making the person feel ignored or unheard, or blowing up in a way that pushes your partner further away. Until you can learn how to regulate your emotions, that is the very foundation of having a healthy relationship. And if you don't fix this first, then nothing else sticks. Secondly, you'll learn how to communicate with influence. And I don't mean by tips or tricks. What I mean is by learning how to have influential communication. Most people communicate from their emotions. What we build is communication that lands, so your partners feel emotionally safe, seen, validated, and heard. You'll learn specific timing, specific phrases. You'll learn about time and cadence and asking certain questions that create curiosity and create couples to turn inwards to each other instead of disconnection. In phase 3, become the person that your partner never knew that you could be. And this is the piece that no one talks about. We work on who you are in the relationship, your insecurities, the things that have been holding you back in a relationship, so you can finally lead differently. And once your partner sees you in a different light, that's when attraction enters the room again. Because the version of you that is anxious, overreactive, or angry, or defending is not attractive. It's actually a turn off, and it repels your partner. We build grounded, calm leadership because that's what creates emotional safety. That's what brings the intimacy, and that's what brings the attraction back. The last thing that we work on is consistency and trust building. We gave you daily tools, behavioral shifts, simple tracking, homework to keep you accountable during the time that we don't meet. Because the goal isn't just having one good week, the goal is not becoming someone entirely different, but learning the new behaviors that create connection, attraction, and respect back into the marriage. Every week, we meet on a 60-minute Zoom call. You get direct coaching, access to me, a teamwork that makes the dream work, coaching, teaching, real feedback, and peers that might be going through the same thing that you are. So you'll never be doing this alone or feeling isolated. And here's what clients tell me at the end. I found myself back, Sarah. I'm confident. I'm thriving in my marriage. I feel better than ever. And I wouldn't have done the work if you hadn't pushed me. And that's what coaching is all about, is having someone to guide you through every single hardship and every single struggle. Alberto came to me at one of the hardest points of his life. He and his wife separated. He hadn't seen his kids in a month. He told me he felt completely lost, like he didn't even know who he was anymore. But he realized something important. If you don't fix yourself, how can you lead as a man for your family? Here's what he told me after doing the Reset Method.
I didn't realize that I had lost the essence of who I was. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what sense. I didn't have sense of direction. I didn't know where I was going. And if you don't know where you're going, you can't lead anybody because you can't even lead yourself. So I didn't know I had these issues until I talked to Sarah, and we actually sat down and had a few sessions until I understood, that I had some issues that I had to work on, that I needed to find out who I was first so I could then lead my family. And because of her, I've actually learned how to become a better man, a better husband, and a better father. And I would say things are actually going a lot better now than they were before. If you guys don't know what you're doing, you need a sense of direction, you feel lost, or you're confused, or you feel like everything was going well and then it just didn't, you need to talk to Sarah, because she's going to 100% be able to open your eyes and help you understand what it is that's going on and what it is that you can fix. So don't give up, guys. Just get some help.
And Alberto didn't just save his marriage, he found himself, he regained his confidence, and that's exactly how he's made everything possible. And Anthony is someone who I even almost lost even before he got started. He signed up, saw who the program was for, and then asked for a refund. He wanted out. His marriage was falling apart. He was exhausted emotionally from trying, and part of him just wanted to give up on everything. He actually ended up staying with me and with my support. And here's what actually happened.
I was really on the fence about doing it. I saw it and I was like, you know what, this looks like I really need to do this. I was in a bad place. My marriage was falling apart and everything like that. And I really wanted to see what I could do to help myself, because obviously it takes two, and I felt like I needed to step up as a man and just improve myself. I signed up, I started doing it, and then I was like, crap, should I go through with this or not? So I actually reached out and I was like, can I get a refund? I was like really on the fence, really wanted to end up canceling. Things weren't going right and with my wife and everything, and so I was just like, you know what, screw it, I just want out. I just want to just give up on everything. Well, fast forward, I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I stuck it out, because Sarah was really great coach. She listened, she gave tips, tools, and everything you need to help communicate, guide, and all those things that you need to develop yourself. So I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to work with Sarah and do this coaching, because now I'm way more confident in myself, more developed, really understanding on how to deal with things that I didn't in the first place. I was very reactive, and I would spiral and do all these things. And with her guidance, I was able to, in coaching, I was really able to gain more control of myself. I've developed into, I'd say, a really whole new person. So if you're on the fence about it and you're questioning it, I would say, go ahead, go for it. I think it's just good for you as an individual. You're going to gain a lot out of it for sure. She does have the group program too, and then it helps you really understand and see that you're not the only one going through some of these really tough times in your life. I mean, regardless of the outcome, I can guarantee you're going to grow, and you're going to developing yourself, and you're just going to have more self-confidence and more tools for your future, whether it's back in your marriage or moving on to the next person. Either way, really great, and I suggest doing the program. Sarah's a great person, really caring, and she actually helped a lot.
The people who get results are the ones that show up and don't give up on themselves or their journey. And Joshua had tried everything before he found me. Therapy, couples counseling, even books. Nothing was moving the needle in his relationship until he started working on the behaviors that were underneath everything that he was struggling with. And here's what he said.
Hey, my name is Joshua, and I just wanted to shout out Coach Sarah, my relationship coach, and I have never found a coach as good as Sarah. I mean, I've tried therapy, I've tried couples counseling, tried books, just about anything you can name it. But I've never really been able to progress as much as when working with Coach Sarah. I think the best part about it is she really listens. I've never had such a judgment-free zone. And it's almost like a cheat code, because she's like my inside man. She's able to walk me through what women are really thinking and feeling. Okay, so in my relationship, she's able to walk me through what my partner is thinking and feeling in a way that I wouldn't have understood before. And she does so with so much empathy, and she more than just listens to me. I've never had someone help me become a better communicator and leader. She really focuses on bringing the man out in me so that I can be a better partner. And I just have never thrived so much as when listening and taking heed to what Sarah is coaching. So I really appreciate what Coach Sarah does. She's one of the best at what she does, the best I've ever found, and I highly recommend working with her. You're gonna walk out a better leader, a better man, and hopefully with a stronger relationship. But the biggest thing is she helps you become the best version of you. So thank you, Coach Sarah, for everything you do. You're incredible. You're the best.
When you stop trying to fix the relationship that creates that internal pressure, everything can change. These are real men, real marriages, real results. Not because I have some magic formula, but because I keep you accountable, I give you the tools, and I make sure that you're doing the homework. And also it's because they did the work, and they did it with a clear system, a concrete plan, and someone in their corner every single step of the way. You'd be surprised when one person genuinely wants to change their patterns in their relationship. The dynamics shift because you can't control your partner, but you can change your actions and the way you're behaving in a way that makes your partner want to change theirs. And you can absolutely change what you want to put into your relationship. When people show up differently, calm, grounded, and respectful, everything can change. Most partners respond, not immediately, but they do. If you think that you've already tried therapy and it didn't work, this is not like therapy. I hear this from almost every single person that I work with. While therapy is valuable for understanding and really talking about your feelings and where they come from, sometimes you're not given the tools to really fix the behaviors that are keeping you stuck in past identity. But when working with me, we customize a plan for your needs specifically and your goals. The reset method is not just therapy, it's a structured system. It's focused on doing rather than just talking about the process. If you think it's too late, maybe, but really, people are just wanting to change and they're afraid to. So instead of doing something, they actually keep on stalling. And what that does is it takes longer to fix the root problems that have got you listening to this video in the first place. You're still here and that matters. And a part of you knows that you wouldn't be here if you knew that this wasn't important. If you think, I don't have time to do this, we all make the time for things that are important to us, and your family deserves this, and so do you. One call a week is all that it takes. You have daily micro tools that take minutes, not hours. This program was built for people who are running a business, who are successful, who are managing a career and holding everything together. If anything, having this structure makes it easier, not harder. Here's what working with me looks like. The Reset methodology is a 90-day coaching program. You and I, or in a small group, working from the system from start to finish. Every week, you get a 60-minute coaching session with me or one of our coaches. You get a clear framework and specific tools, and daily homework that teaches you new patterns of behavior. You get accountability, someone that will tell you and be honest with you about what's exactly working and what's not. And you get results not someday, but in 90 days. I work with a small amount of people with high touch points. That way it's personalized, customized to your goals and needs. This is not a course that you just buy and forget. It's real life coaching and things that will change your entire dynamic of your marriage for good. I don't believe in talking about things for months before things change. You'll feel a shift within the first few weeks, and if not, we'll figure it out together. If any part of this hit home for you, I want to invite you to have a conversation with me. There is a button below this video. Click it and book a strategy call. On the clarity call with me, we are going to go over 3 main things. 1, I'm going to understand exactly what is going on in your marriage. 2, I'm going to identify what behavioral patterns are keeping you stuck. 3, we're going to see if working together makes sense, because I don't just work with anyone. It has to be the right fit. There's no pressure, there's no pitch. If it's not the right fit, I'll tell you that. But if it is, I do really want to help you save your marriage before it's too late. The people that I work with say, oh my goodness, I wish I had done this sooner, and I'm glad that I started doing the work. So don't wait. Click the button below, book the call. Let's get your marriage back on track. Look, you didn't build your career by second guessing yourself and hoping things would magically get better on their own. You built your work, your family, and your home by getting the right people in your corner and doing the work. Your marriage deserves the same approach. I've been where you are. I've watched my own marriage fall apart and then choose to fight for it. And with the right tools, we rebuilt it, and now we even have a 3rd kid. I'm not telling you that this is easy, because this will challenge you. I'm telling you there is a clear path if you're willing to walk it. Your children deserve a stable home, and so do you. Your partner deserves the version of you that this was created for. You deserve a marriage that doesn't only feel like a partnership. It feels like you have a best friend again. So what do you have to lose? Click the button below. Let's get started.